Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 5 and today we're gonna talk about narrative text. But first of all, let me introduce you our member of the group. First, my name is Mariska Kansa Salsabila. The second one is Adyar and the third one is Farrel Adyar. So, here we go.
Number one, what is narrative text? Definition of narrative text. Narrative text is a story with complication or dramatic event and it tries to find a solution to solve the problem. And an important part of the narrative text is the narrative mode, the set of the method used to communicate the narrative through a process narration.
Number 2. What is the purpose of narrative text? The purpose of narrative text is to amuse or entertain the readers with actual or imaginary experiences in different ways. Narrative always deal with some problems which lead to the climax and then return into a solution to the problem.
Number 3. What is the generic structure of narrative text? Generic structure of narrative text. First, orientation. Set the scene. Where and when the story happened and introduce the participant of the story. Who and what is involved in the story. Second, complication. Tells the beginning of the problems which leads to the crisis of the main participants. Third, resolution. The problem is resolved, either in a happy ending or in sad ending. Fourth, reorientation for content. This is closing remark to the story and it is optional. It consists of a moral lesson, advice or teaching from the writer.
Number 4, what is language features of narrative text? Fourth, what is language features of narrative text? Language features of narrative text. The first one is simple past tense. The tense or form of the verb used in narrative text is the past tense or verb from the past. For example, the words ate, went, and grew are some verbs in the past tense. This happens because the story are usually things that have happened in the past. 3-4 when relating something that has happened in the verb is used which has a past tense. The second one is action verbs. Then, the second language rule used in action verbs or types of verbs that indicate an action or action that is visible, including activities, process, then instantaneous action. The third one is prepositional phrases. Furthermore, the third language rule used in the prepositional phrases or adverbs used to indicate the time and the location of events and adjectives that make up the known phrases. The fourth one is adjective. Finally, the language rule used in adjective. Adjectives are one of the many words found in narrative text because by using adjective we can explain the characteristic of the character in the story. An adjective describing a noun in a grammar. Adjective make a little differences in the meaning of a noun.
Number 5. Kind of narrative text. So, the first one is legend. What is legend? A legend is a narrative of human actions that are perceived both by teller and listeners to take place within human history. Typically, a legend is a short, traditional, and historicized narrative formed in a conversational mode. Some define legend as folktale. The example of legend in narrative texts are A. is fable. What is fable? A fable is a short allegorical narrative making a moral point, traditionally by means of animal characters who speak and act like human beings. Examples of fable in narrative texts are A. Mouse, deer, and crocodile, and B. The ants and the grasshopper. So number 3 is science fiction. What is science fiction? According to Basil Davenport, 1955, science fiction is fiction based upon some imagined development of science or upon the extrapolation of a tendency in society. Science fiction is that class of prose narrative treating of a situation that could not arise in the world. In the world we know, some examples of science fiction are A. To the Moon from the Earth by Jules Verne. So the last one is fairy tale. What is fairy tale? According to Wikipedia, fairy tale is an English language term for a type of short narrative corresponding to the French phrase conte de fées. A fairy tale typically features such folkloric characters as fairies, goblins, elves, trolls, dwarves, giants, or gnomes, and usually magic or enchantments. The example of fairy tale and narrative texts are A. Cinderella, B. Snow White, and D. Pinocchio.
Example of narrative text. The first paragraph is called orientation paragraph. Why the first paragraph is called orientation paragraph? Because the first paragraph it tells us about the when and where the stories happen, and introduce the participant of the stories, who and what is involved in the stories. The second paragraph is called complication paragraph. Why the second paragraph is called complication paragraph? Because the second paragraph tells the beginning of the problem which leads to the crisis of the main participant. The third paragraph is called resolution paragraph. Why the third paragraph is called resolution paragraph? So the third paragraph is the last paragraph, and this paragraph it tells us about the problem is resolved either in the happy ending or the sad ending. So guys, that's all the explanation about narrative text. Hope you guys enjoy it, and thank you for all of your attention. Have a nice day, and we're from Group 5, and until we will see you next time, bye guys.